Good conversations are the seeds of great relationships and the key to unlocking new opportunities. All right, so a lot of these principles I've learned in this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, which I read a few years ago. One of my favorite books. I hope it's in frame and you can see it. And also just through like growing and learning and like speaking with different people. I think as a teenager, the more you just keep doing it, the more you just keep learning naturally. Or you just keep learning naturally the best way to go about all these things. The first thing I'm going to tell you is something that most people are not worried about. They're always worried about, oh, what do I say? How do I do this? The first thing is to just actively listen, because part of a conversation is just listening, right? How many people do you think actually have great listening skills nowadays? Not a lot. So just actively listen and become present. So what do I mean by actively listening? I mean like maintaining eye contact, maybe giving like a I see, like okay, like a nod or something like that, like showing that you're listening and genuinely be listening, right? Don't just do that and you're like thinking about what you're gonna eat later. Become present. Put your phone away as well. It's easy to have your phone on the side, or maybe it's to your right and you're just on your phone while someone's talking to you. It's not ideal, especially if you're just now meeting somebody or you've only met them a couple times. Don't be on your phone. Maybe if it's someone that you're close with and you're like living with or something like that, okay. But if it's someone that you're just meeting, you should not be on your phone. If you're on like a first date or something like that, do not be on your phone. That is the worst thing you could ever do. Don't be on your phone at all. In fact, just put it away, put it on do not disturb. It shouldn't be on vibrate like that all the time. Like just put it away. When you're listening as well, don't listen because you want to just talk after. Listen to actually understand what the individual is telling you. I learned, especially when I was in Hungary and Poland and all these things, I just started just to listen to people. When I first read that book and I went back to Ohio, I just started like practicing these concepts with my friends. This is like a while ago. And I think that's just the best way to start. Like practice these concepts with people that you already know. You'll start to see that conversations even is a little better actually, even though you know this person already. It just improves the conversation in a weird way. And then you also use them with strangers, people that you're just meeting for the first time. I think practicing every day is just the best way to get better with anything. The next thing is just to ask open-ended questions. I think open-ended questions just give more room for the conversation to go many different ways, right? So I would ask something like, what do you enjoy most about your job? Or how did you get into that hobby? Something like that that's open-ended. That's not just like a yes or no answer, but they can like expand on it and give more detail about it. And then I could take something from what they've said and ask maybe another question, or they ask me something. And you'll start to understand that asking more open-ended questions, as well as like, how did that make you feel? Or how did this, I think that's makes like you just get into a deeper conversation. When you ask someone like, how did this make you feel, or how did you feel about that, they tend to open up, especially if you just are not, you don't have this judgmental vibe about yourself. If you're just like a calm, chilled person who is quite normal, people will open up. They will open up to you, and that's how you connect as well when you open up back. Like, you don't have to open up like about your trauma when you were a kid and all. No. Just like slightly, but it just helps you build like rapport with one another when you actually talk about stuff that is meaningful to yourself. When I say asking someone like how they feel, and it makes the conversation more personal, you feel more connected to the other person. Wouldn't you like it if someone also asked you all these open-ended questions? If someone asked you questions and they're actually listening and show genuine interest in you, you'd love that, right? So imagine if you did that to someone else. They're gonna love that shit, because they're like, oh, this person actually cares. This person actually wants to know more about me. The one thing that everyone loves talking about is themselves. There's not a single human on earth who does not love talking about themselves to certain people. You keep asking questions about them, they'll always love to talk about, oh yeah, I did this and that. They'll love doing it. I've yet to meet someone who doesn't. So just showing genuine interest in the individual and asking open-ended questions and actively listening can just skyrocket your conversations like 100 times. You don't need to be saying anything crazy or anything that's like super interesting. You don't really need to. Just having one skill, actively listening, will make your conversations better. So you don't even need to implement all of them. But if you have all of them, it will definitely be better, right? And what do we do here, right? We keep learning day in and day out. So maybe one day you are focusing more on being present. Maybe another day you're focusing more on actively listening. Maybe another day you're, asking more open-ended questions, whatever it is. But you keep doing this, you keep learning, and it just becomes a natural part of who you are, to the point where you're just being you. And also, don't go into a conversation trying to have the other person like you. Don't do that. I think it just comes off as like inauthentic. Just be yourself. Who cares if they like you, if they don't like you? They don't need to like you. Who really cares? There's so many people in this world. If you're talking to a woman, you don't need to have like, oh, she needs to like you. Bro, there's an abundance of women. There's an abundance. Like, just be you. Really have some high self-esteem and high self-respect to the point where, you don't need to be liked by someone. Who cares if they like you? Like, genuinely, who cares? There'll be some people who like you, there'll be some people who don't, no matter what. So just be so polarizingly yourself that it doesn't matter. The people who like you actually like you because of who you are. The people who don't, or who are indifferent, okay, who cares? There's an abundance of people in this world. Who really cares? Why do you need to be liked by everyone? You don't. And I think this is also an important part of just you letting go and just talking, being free. Because you see that you can talk to like your friends, how you can have better conversations with your friends versus someone else because you have these guards up. You gotta be authentic in every situation in your life. Just be you. Like, be the you that you want to be. I think that's probably the most important thing that will help improve you. I don't think I've heard anyone say that stuff, but I think it's so important to just be polarizingly yourself. Be just you. Another tip is just have an open body language, right? Don't be, crossing your arms and, just be open. That's another lastly important tip. Have open body language and just like, maybe, have a slight smile or whatever it is, right? Eye contact. Just these are important things to have. I'll say for myself, I also think storytelling is an important thing. This is a skill that I'm learning like currently. I'm not someone who tells all these stories and stuff, but I want to actually improve my storytelling. And I realized it will be helpful for YouTube as well, but just in real life, maybe telling more stories. It just helps people like get a better insight into who you are. So I really think storytelling, it's not like the most important thing, but it could be helpful like in a business setting or personal setting or family, like whatever it is. It's just helpful to have some stories on hand, and that comes with just by living life, right? Being authentically yourself and just living life. So I hope you at least took one thing that was good from this video that could help you improve your conversations in your life. And also, if you are trying to connect with like-minded men who want to become better in all areas of their life, click the first link in the description to join the school community to meet other ambitious men who are also on self-improvement just like yourself. If you're a woman as well, you can join too. We don't discriminate. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure that you subscribe for some more content, share this video with a friend that's in need, and last but not least, never waver from the path.